Hello everyone, welcome to our channel of confession and cheating stories. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the bell notification to increase engagement before we get to our video. Toda, I am going to tell you the story of a married individual who had an affair with his landlord, Serhat. Let's go to our video. Hello, I'm Melis. I am 35 years old now. I consider myself young, divorced, and not married. The most difficult period of my life was when I was married. Even though not everything is great now, I enjoy it more than I did then. At least I have money and my children live with me. I don't work for myself. I do what I can for others. Serhat and I had an affair during the time we were together, but we are not married. I get excited when he looks at me. I feel a bit let down by him. He promised to marry me, but his family prevented it. He was deceived. That's why he couldn't marry me. But his wife is still a moron. She doesn't understand things. We are in a secret relationship and he is looking after me now. He bought a phone, a car, and a house for me. He takes very good care of us and sends my child to a prestigious school. I have often urged him to divorce and marry me, but he ignores my advice. Now I want to get married. I will marry someone else. I have never talked to anyone else, and I have never cheated on him. But now that I am 30 years old, it is time for me to get married. I need to get married before I lose my attractiveness, because I am getting old. I'm not sure if someone will love me like this. I'm very beautiful. What made me incredibly attractive was money. When I was young and married, I was unattractive, but Serhat's wealth made me look very good. When we got married, we were not in a very good situation. They were barely getting by on minimum wage, and my husband was not earning a high income. Unfortunately, even though I had a lovely child, I could not fulfill every wish of my child. When I got married, I got pregnant with my second child, but I am not sure whether it was Serhat's or my husband's child. I was worried that if I divorced my husband, they would hurt Serhat, so I didn't want them to know. Anyway, let me start from the beginning. My family was always in difficulties, and I was born into a low-income family. We were a very busy family. My family married me off without asking me or doing any research. My husband was a very stupid person who worked for minimum wage, drank and gambled with all his earnings. They didn't tell us this before we got married, but I discovered his character after we got married. I had thousands of regrets about this. I was not doing well before I got married, but now things were getting worse. We had found a rented house, and according to my wife, Serhat was a decent man who would not complain even if the rent was not paid on time. We were newlyweds when we moved into this house. We had been together with the landlord for years, and there were times when he took pity on us. At first, we didn't get along well, but as time passed, I realized that he was a good man. At first, I never thought of looking at him sideways. He was tall, handsome, and generous. He would approach us and ask about our needs. When my wife was not at home, sometimes even if they did not ask him to visit, he would still ask if I needed anything. He would go shopping and deliver it to us for free, but I was too humiliated to say anything. He was really a wonderful angel. She was 30 years old and single. I couldn't understand how people didn't fall in love with her. Maybe her shyness prevented her from finding a partner. She needed a friend because she lived alone. Sometimes after work, he would come to visit us at the house upstairs, and I would cook for him. We were the only people he had. I was embarrassed when he realized we were broke. Sometimes he would buy me clothes as a gift. I believe he loved me as much as I loved him, but we couldn't tell each other how we felt. He didn't tell me because he thought I was married. We weren't very wealthy, and I was working when I got pregnant. I told Serhat that he couldn't steal because I was pregnant. I told him that I would work and provide money when I had a baby. I didn't know what to do with my daughter. She was just born. When I came home from the hospital, my daughter had just been born. My husband was once again in a ridiculous situation. When they came home, they congratulated me for having a daughter. Naturally, they were helpless in the face of Serhat's wealth. They asked me to give them the money, even though I didn't want to, and then they left. Serhat loved me. I knew that, and I had to settle all my scores with him quickly. I finally got it together. Serhat came to our house once in the evening. I think my boyfriend was working evenings at a new job. They would go to work in the morning and come home in the evening. They weren't going to be people as I knew them anyway. I told Serhat that I had prepared a nice meal and invited him over. We headed to the kitchen to eat together. When I told my daughter that her father was asleep, she asked for my attention. She suggested that I name my lamb Aslı, but I didn't promise her anything. Anyway, he gave me some clothes and we had dinner. I said, "Look, I bought these for you." I put them on and said, "Look, Tuncay, how do you like it?" After thanking him and showing him how it looked. Serhat and I were standing side by side, and I'm not that tall. I was standing close to Serhat, who was quite tall. I grabbed Serhat around the waist and hugged him. "How do we look? Look, are we attractive?" Serhat was not shy at all. We both laughed, and then it happened. But it was my traveling companion who was deceived. My friend was already gone. I didn't claim I didn't know. "Serhat, you were very loved. I couldn't tell you, but I loved you from the moment I saw you. I couldn't let you know." Serhat claimed he loved me, but he didn't know how to express it. My daughter was sleeping in the next room. We were like husband and wife and very close. The only thing missing was my wife. I had to throw them out. Serhat reminds me that I am a woman, and he deserves me. When he hugs me and touches me, I feel so wonderful. Even when I sleep, I dream about him. He has become my idol. We were about to fire my partner. That was our only desire, and I was hoping to marry Serhat, God willing, after divorcing my husband. We were planning to marry my daughter and move to another place. However, I was thinking of leaving the relationship as soon as possible because they did not give me anything in my life. Even after we got married, my husband did not know about it. I had to get rid of them as soon as possible to start living a happy life with my wealthy husband. After a while, I separated from my husband. After Serhat somehow got them arrested, I divorced my husband. I was alone now, and I didn't have a partner. I made every effort to marry Serhat, but something went wrong. Because he was divorced, and I had children, his family forbade it. His family never gave permission. It was impossible for Serhat to refuse them because all his wealth came from his family. He was rich because his father gave him all the money. He gave up on marrying me and couldn't stop his relationship with them. But he has been taking care of me for years and has never given up. When they made him marry one of his relatives, I cried a lot that day. I cried thinking why I didn't marry him. Even though I had never cheated on Serhat, it was time for me to get married too. Serhat should not cheat on his wife now that they have children. After all, they are married, and he will always live with her. I need to rest my head on someone's shoulder. Please watch this video. If you do, leave a comment below. Would you marry someone like me? Would you put up with someone like me? I believe that most people don't love me and don't want me. I promise that I will always be there for you, and I won't betray you. I wanted to share with you a story that has been building up inside me, but I haven't shared it with anyone. I hope I'm not misunderstood. I want to be with the person I love, and I have good intentions. I think this is a universal right. Yes, friends, this is the end of the confession. They told me this in a cafe, and it really happened. I don't want to discuss it too much. I think they are acting wrong, and I shouldn't have betrayed their relationship. They were not accepted by Sirahat's family either, but I don't have much to say to you. Such individuals are very common. After finding a rich wife, they live their own lives. Even if Sirahat takes good care of them, they have to get married too. Even if someone is poor, a married person will argue that it would be really foolish to marry him. Sirahat has made money unnecessary for you. We have come to the end of this story. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate the bell notification to get our stories before anyone else. See you in our next cheating story. Goodbye.